Hello, everybody. This is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser, and let's go ahead and get things rounded up here. We'll show you what is going on. We do have some active severe weather going on in the Scotland, South Dakota area, so I appreciate you all joining. This is really abrupt. We've got a storm over by Monroe, and between Canastota and Monroe there, Marietta area. There are some concerns there that could possibly develop into a severe thunderstorm warning here very, very soon. More concerning right now, using the Weatherfront app, we do have the ability to take a look at this a little bit deeper here. At 5:20, severe thunderstorm was located over Tripp. This is moving east at 20 miles per hour. Kaler around 525, so obviously past there. Scotland, they did have observed hail. If we take a look at the details here a little bit further out, we don't want to forget our folks in the Redwood Falls and Minnesota area. We do have some storms that do have severe thunderstorm warnings there with 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. We're going to go back over here to the Sioux Falls area. We want to kind of pinpoint this area right here. And the reason why we want to do that is because these storms are in a very rich environment, and it will not take very much for things to get going. Let me shut that off for a moment here. I'm going to show you a track of what we're seeing trend here with the latest HRRR. This is an estimate of where these storms might fire. This is not a guarantee, folks. So if you look at that, that's around 7 p.m. Obviously, it's firing much sooner than what this suggests. This is 9 p.m., so forth. Let's go to our NAM 3K. This is another weather model, just to kind of get an idea. This was updated at 18Z, so 3 p.m. And this is a look at what 7 p.m. might look like. So in about another hour and a half, that could end up looking like that. Pretty robust storms. They're going to kind of stay over into the Scotland and Tyndall area. Plenty of rain, and you guys already got a lot of damage over last weekend's storms. Take a look at areas of Minnesota. This is about midnight. As you can see, these areas end up being pretty well cleared out. So about 11 p.m. things will really die out quite a bit. As far as looking at the significant tornado parameter numbers, you know, the estimates of what that could look like, we're really not expecting any tornadic, but the wind is a huge factor. These are some tornado parameters. It could be around the Sioux City or south of Sioux City area, like the Dunlap and Denison tomorrow. But again, that's just one number. We're not going to jump into that too much. We've got current dew points showing here. 57-degree dew points. Nothing real robust, but there's definitely some moisture. Once we get into that 60-degree dew points, which is down towards Columbus and York, that's where all that fuel is. And if we take a quick peek at the overall risks here outlined, barely can see that actually. Take a look here. This is the tornado risk area that extends all the way up into areas of Brookings, South Dakota. That's the tornado risk, very low, but still not zero. And then this is the wind risk, again, very low, but still there. Hail is a bigger threat. The Sioux Falls area is bullseyed with the hail, and Yankton, also Tyndall, Vermilion, Sioux City, Wayne, Nebraska, Lamar's, Iowa, Sibley, Iowa, Worthington, Minnesota, Slayton, all the way up into areas of Brookings, South Dakota, and even as far north as Esteline. Those do have what's called a SIG 1 outlook there, where that is a significant risk, a little bit higher. Hang on one second here. All right. I do have an alert here, so I just need to gather that information here. 1 second, folks. A storm near Pipestone will likely produce some dime-size hail as it moves east through 6 p.m. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. There it is. So this is moving east. Odd that they don't have a polygon on that. I suspect that they will have a polygon for a severe thunderstorm warning very shortly, because those are going into an enriched environment as well. We'll take a look at the additional details here if we go to the reflective and kind of get an idea of what this estimated it to be. As you can see, that's kind of what it estimated around 7 p.m. I just showed you that a little bit ago, but for those that are just joining. This, don't freak out. I'm going to show you what's called a skew T. It's basically a graph. It kind of shows the red lines there and the green, the dew points and the temperatures. Sometimes what that can end up showing is where the environment is pulling data that could suggest, is there going to be anything severe there as far as tornadic? Nothing that's really showing up on that. That's a good sign. We're going to go back to our HRRR. And then we're also, you can see at the bottom, we've got the severe thunderstorm watch going on there. But we do want to go back to live radar. This is moving into a very rich environment, 57-degree dew point, nothing real huge. I mean, I've seen way larger numbers like 60s and 70s. Obviously, those would definitely be even more supportive, but it's still, without a doubt, something that we need to be aware of. And as you can see, Sioux Falls is outlined in a slight risk here today, as you can see on that badge up in the upper right-hand corner, my right-hand corner. So the marginal risk, or a 1 out of 5, is outside of that in the darker shaded green, and then general thunderstorms even further out that we go. If we take a look at Dallas area, I know I do have some folks down there that watch things, so that's just marginal risk for today. Tornado risk is just basically over in El Paso area. Not really expecting a whole lot. And then the wind risks, like I said, that's for Monday. Let's go back to that. The wind risk right there, and the hail, big time hail. All right, let's go back to this here. We do have quite a few spotters that are throughout these regions. Very famous ones, actually. I believe. There's Alex Riesel, very good photographer from the Watertown area originally. Adam Lucy, very famous one. We do have him right on that over by Olivet. You guys might be wondering, why didn't I go out? Well, I didn't want to go out on this one because I was going to be all alone, and that is definitely no bueno. That is no bueno for me. I definitely want to have a person that can spot and help me, even though I know the area very well. I'm really quite surprised this Pipestone storm has not gotten severe thunderstorm warning polygon yet. But let's go ahead and take a look at the echo tops on that. What is the echo tops? Well, that is, apologize, one moment here. The echo tops is basically how high up the towers go of the storms. One moment here. And if we analyze that a little bit, be able to take a look at that. Probably about 40,000. Yep, 40,000. So that should be going warned here shortly, as long as we get going there. And this one is the more robust one down by Kaler. So we do have some hail in there for sure. It looks like they just got this one reissued. Severe thunderstorm warning issued at 5:39. So ping pong ball size hail now. So folks that are in Tripp, you already have been impacted by that. So locations that are going to be impacted include Scotland and Kaler, areas that already were impacted last Sunday. Don't need that anymore. So get into your safe place, stay away from windows, folks, and get to the interior room on the lowest floor of building. This is continuing. We also do have this one on Highway 44 for folks that are in South Dakota. Highway 44 between Milton and Clayton, right on top of Clayton, basically. This is a concern as well. That could end up going robust here also. Let me make sure we go back to the velocity. Nothing really huge for the hail right now there, so that will not go warned anytime real soon. This one here over by Pipestone, just east of Pipestone, like they said, do have a little bit of hail in there, but has not gotten warned. Really shocking. However, this one down here, the size 80 kilograms M squared, that is certainly indicating big time hail there with the ping pong ball size hail. And this, as long as it stays on its own cell, it certainly could end up getting even more robust. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. We've already had reports of 1-inch hail. And then there's that one for heavy amount of quarter to golf ball size hail, cracked windshields. So we do have that. We're going to take a look at velocity, and the reason why we're going to take a look at velocity is we want to see what's going on as far as let me bring up velocity legend. So green means it's moving towards the radar, and near zero, weak or neutral motion, and then away from the radar is the red. So this ends up helping us indicate where there could be some rotation in those storms. And that one definitely does show that there's a little bit of rotation. If we go in there a little bit, it doesn't mean that there's a tornado. You have to have in order for it to be considered a actual tornado, you would actually need to see it hit that ground and have the debris from the cloud, from the funnel, all the way to the ground to really be considered a tornado. So you can see 0 miles per hour. These are estimates of the wind. So a little bit more calm versus going over here. We do have those 60-mile-an-hour winds pretty close. Obviously, this isn't as exact as being right in the field, so our chasers are definitely bringing that information and getting that available. So very small rotation, but still something to be on the lookout for. Let's go ahead and take a look again at these weather models to verify, see if we have another update. We do not. Update on these storms over into areas of Minnesota. We have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings now. This one at 5:26. It's got quarter-size hail areas, Hector, Minnesota. That's impacting folks there. Some people might be wanting to know, when is it going to be impacting areas of Sioux Falls, right? I'm sure you all want to know. Let's go to one of our other weather models to verify a rough estimate here. That certainly had it a little bit later. This is putting it a little bit more robust there. I don't think I would believe this particular weather model, although some indications could say. Not everybody's going to get rain, not everybody's going to get hail, not everybody's going to get damage. It's going to be very isolated. These are weather model estimates. Not every single one is accurate. It's just trying to give its best estimate of what could end up happening. So if we look at 5 p.m. here, just trying to see which one's kind of got the closest. I'd say this one's probably about right on as far as weather models compared to, so if you take a snapshot of what that is for an estimate of 5 p.m. and then you go back to real time, it's got the placement pretty darn spot on. A little bit of a fluctuation, but honestly, that's probably, so I would say maybe this would be how it would go. And if that's the case, then Sioux Falls, you might be out of the woods. But don't let your guard down, because there's still these storms over by Canastota that are non-severe yet, but they certainly do have potential as they move into a moisture-enriched environment. What's causing all of this? Well, we do have this severe thunderstorm watch for many of the areas outlined, and I'll go ahead and bring that up here 1 second. But before I do, I want to show you a satellite loop. You can certainly see where the robust storms are with this satellite loop. We'll go to the blue. That's going to give us a better idea here. Actually, no, red's better. All right. So we do have some storms down in Nebraska, down by Chambers, Nebraska, and O'Neill that are starting to fire off. You can see that with the satellite and the lightning strikes there. If we put it into motion for you, you can see these ones are kind of moving more easterly down in Nebraska, but eventually we do expect those to move in more of a northeasterly direction like the rest of these are starting to show. Sioux Falls, again, not a whole lot of cloud cover there, and we are seeing indications that this is going to continue to push towards Sioux Falls area, eventually Rock Rapids. We'll put this into play here and show you how this has developed over the last hour or so. Right there. Just the one cell right now in South Dakota. No severe thunderstorm warnings down into areas of Nebraska. However, outlined in this yellow box, if you will, all the way up to Willmar, Minnesota, and over to areas of Sibley, Iowa, and Sioux Center and Sioux City. That's in that severe thunderstorm watch. And these storms are moving pretty slow at this point in time. We now do have an update. This is $half size hail reported in Tripp, and they're only moving at 15 miles per hour. So that's one plus, because they're moving that slow. It is helping to get things alerted much faster. All right, be one moment, folks. We're going to keep on letting that play through here. And what I'm going to do at this point in time, I'm going to see if I can one second here. See if I can get anything to pull up on this. 1 second, folks. All right, so you guys are going to see some crazy stuff here. So I'm developing some things here, so be one moment. What you're going to be able to see here is intercept engine. What I want to do is I want to take a look and see if I can find out where might end up being the favorite target today. So we have Knox County, Nebraska, Clay County, South Dakota. So folks in Clay County, South Dakota, based on Chaser OS, You're going to definitely want to be very, very careful. Areas of Knox County, Nebraska. Now, these are not guarantees. This is AI integration along with data that is being pulled from surface observations that are current. So it's just bringing up the information of what could end up happening in this environment. Let me go ahead and pull in South Dakota's data here. Be 1 second. And I'm going to see if it actually can pull that. 1 second here. It's not going to let me interact. All right, it was having an issue. So let's go back to that. There we go. All right, so those are current surface observations. We got 58-degree dew point now in Sioux Falls with a temp of 84. We do have westerlies over by Aberdeen and Pierre with the dew points of 47, and Brookings is at 52 degrees dew point with a south-southwest wind. All right, we're going to shut that off here and we'll show you more information here. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning continuing. This is including obviously areas of Menno, South Dakota. Again, for those that are just joining, half-dollar size hail was reported in Tripp, South Dakota. Make sure that you guys or anybody that's in the path of this. So folks to the east, so we'd be talking about obviously Menno's in it, but we along Highway 81, Highway 18 in South Dakota. There are some storms up here by Canastota, which would be Highway 42, that are starting to show signs of hail. Let's go ahead and bring that information in here, and we'll show the there it is. You can certainly see where it's starting to get the larger size there, so I would not doubt if this continues at this point. We'll start to see a severe thunderstorm warning being issued shortly for folks in this. So that would end up impacting areas of like Hartford, folks along Highway 42 points eastward, and eventually, if it would stay together, this would end up impacting Sioux Falls. This one also, all by itself here a little bit, is showing signs of increasing there, but the more robust one right now is down here with Kaler, South Dakota. Let's go ahead and take a look at the echo tops and see if they have grown since the last time we looked. We do show 46,000 feet. This one right here is now 50,000 feet, so this really is intensifying here. And then this one, 45,000 feet. So these are certainly starting to get their tops, the towers. I call it cauliflower or broccoli. You'll start to see the towers really go. And then we also have over here we've got that severe thunderstorm warning in Minnesota, just to the east of Pipestone area. I'm going to take a look right now and see if I could pull any traffic cams. Bear with me one moment. Appreciate your patience. So one moment here. See if I can find any cameras down in that area. Obviously, there's very limited cameras available down there. It looks like the greatest that I have is maybe Yankton. Not the feed is down, so that will not work. All right, we don't have anything that we can take a look at for that right now, but still dangerous storms that we do have going on right now, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the velocity again here, see if that is intensified at all for this over by Canastota. It's now 60 kilograms m squared. Yeah, well, definitely wouldn't be a bit surprised if we start seeing that get a severe thunderstorm warning very shortly, and that would end up impacting Sioux Falls eventually. Appreciate y'all staying with me on YouTube as well as Facebook. If you're watching live, this is continued severe weather coverage for South Dakota and Minnesota right now as main areas that we are talking about. Those are the ones that are in the severe thunderstorm watch. Severe thunderstorm watch includes this entire polygon here, and that is until 11 p.m. Low risk of 60 plus mile per hour, and then almost 0% risk of EF2, 10% risk of tornadoes. So there could still be a possibility within some of these storms that we see a tornado. All right, we do have a new polygon that was issued here. This is now an update just a moment ago. Severe thunderstorm warning, May 24th at 5:57. Northeastern Bonham County in southeastern South Dakota, southeastern Hutchinson County, and southeastern South Dakota until 6:45. Severe thunderstorm was located over Kaler or 15 miles north of Tyndall, moving east. It's picking up some speed, and it does now have that ping pong ball size hail again. At 5:40, golf ball size hail was reported 3 miles east northeast of Tripp. This severe thunderstorm will be near Scotland around 6 p.m., Menno around 6:05 p.m. So make sure that you are in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This is confirmed and observed. So, folks, this is going about 20 miles per hour, moving east. Folks that would be in this impacted would be Jamesville, Spring Valley, basically Highway 18, and then it's going to be crossing. It's, the worst of it is not over Highway 81, but it is just to the west of Highway 81. And as you can see back over here, we do have just to the southwest of Kaler, another cell that is kind of turning things up a little bit there. Lots of moisture in these. Let's go ahead and show that real quick. Okay, this is estimates. 1 hour rainfall could have an inch to inch and a half in these storm cells here, and sometimes that hail depicts that a little bit and causes it to be, a little higher estimates. Close to an inch within an hour if that continues to stay there. So much needed moisture. We didn't need the tornadic, or not tornadic, but the severe weather side of it, but we certainly did need the moisture. We're now starting to see 58. Just looking for those who are just joining, some intense storms that are yet to be warned for severe thunderstorms, but let's take a look at the velocity here for a moment. Not really seeing much of anything there. We do see this right here, just to the southwest of Kaler, South Dakota. Broad area of rotation. Look at that, 49 miles an hour, 56. Nothing real significant, but still. Let's show folks the velocity again. Towards the radar is green, or toward the greener part, and then near zero would be kind of a neutral color, and away from the radar, that would be red. So basically, how you can depict where there's rotation is when storms are moving away, and other sections of that storm within the same cell are moving towards. So that ends up indicating some rotation in those storm cells. Again, we do have a number of areas that are in a severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see, Hutchinson, South Dakota, Murray, Minnesota, Pipestone, Minnesota, McLeod, Minnesota, and Sibley, Minnesota. We'll go back over to those areas here real quick. And these are counties. These are not towns, but counties. I do not currently have a chaser available. Otherwise, I would have one. One second here. All right, let's take a look here at these storms a little bit further here. Be one moment. For folks that are just joining me, these are severe thunderstorms that are in the Scotland, South Dakota area, Menno. These storms do have a history of producing, I should say, this storm has a history of producing ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Now, this storm up by Canastota and Bridgewater, folks need to be alert. Bridgewater, this is going to be crossing your area very shortly, and you need to be in your safe place. Find a lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows, so that way you can be safe and moving on through. Again, nothing real huge going on in the northern half of South Dakota, and that's mainly because there's drier air there. DeSmet, you got a dew point of 41, Huron 45, and that's why they've got that cutoff right here. As you can see, that's a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. So for another almost 5 hours, and that includes all the way into Norfolk and just to the Columbus area of Nebraska. We did earlier start to see things fire up over into the Wagner area right here. And what we're expecting to have happen is some more robust storms starting over in that same area. As you can kind of see where the dry line is, you can see that if I draw it here. It's basically on this side here, we got dew points in the 30s. We got dew points in the 30s on that side, so that's where the drier, cooler air is. And then down here we have, upper 50s for dew points, more warm, moist air down there, and that's why we are getting these storms firing. So I appreciate you all joining. If you're just joining us on Facebook or YouTube, make sure that you share and continue to be alert of these robust storms that are moving through the area. It's going to eventually end up impacting Hartford, some rain, which is much needed. I don't see right now anything that indicates that we're going to have to worry about hail there, but that could definitely change. Looks like this particular storm that is over by Canastota is losing some of its signature that it had earlier for possibility of hail. Yeah, not really much of anything going on there. This storm down here is still pretty significant. As you can see, there was that indicator down there of the hail. Two-inch in diameter. And our echo tops are continuing to kind of on the northerly side. If we remove our chaser feed here for a second, on the northern side of this, you can kind of see over by Canastota, it's still a little intense for the tops. They're still about 43, 45,000 feet. So not real significant, but down here, they're still close to 50,000 feet. And that's why we still have those severe thunderstorm warnings down there, or warning, rather. I probably won't remain live this whole entire time because I'm not expecting it to be extremely late. One more update. 1 second, folks. All right, so some of these storm cells here over by the Canastota area could end up having winds about 50 mile per hour. Nothing real huge, but still can catch you off guard without a doubt. Go back to that and show you. So what I'm talking about is these storms right here, Canastota, Bridgewater. They could end up having some impacts. 40 to 50 mile an hour winds are expected in those very shortly. So they may end up catching you off guard. And then this is going to continue to move east. This one near Menno, just Scotland, Olivet. That's going to continue to move towards Spring Valley, eventually Hurley and Parker. There's a new tool with this that I want to find out here. 1 second. Appreciate your patience. All right, so there's where our polygons are. We do have the severe thunderstorm warnings in Gaylord, Gibbon, Winthrop, Brownton, These would be covering Highway 19 in Minnesota, Highway 15, Highway 4 there. And as far as further east and north, nothing going on there, but we do have this down between Pipestone and Slayton. That one there does have it moving east with $half size hail. And again, this one here, let's see if there is a new update. Nope, moving 20. East at 20. Take a look at the satellite loop. You can see the drier air right up here in North Dakota. But you definitely see the cumulus clouds right in here where all these storms are. Appreciate you all joining. We did have another weather update for our HRRR convective allowing models. And I want to kind of see where that's expected to change if they've got a better idea of that. I'm going to back it up here. All right, looks like this latest run of the HRRR is pretty well spot on where it's putting the storm. So it looks like there's going to be some rain there, but Beresford area could end up seeing some hail. That would probably be some big time hail there near Beresford. I'm just going to do a sounding on that if I can. Nothing real huge. That's good. Now this one is showing marginal tornado, so don't freak out about that. This is just a sounding, and it's showing the environment has that potential there with the Cape, the LCL. Just looking at the numbers, we definitely see that possibility somewhere around 7 p.m. So folks down in Tyndall, your night is not over yet. We do also see Mayfield around 8 p.m. Let's go ahead and take a look at those numbers. Again, a possibility there. Hurley around 8 p.m. That'll be severe, so we could end up having a number of those. Lennox, severe levels. So line of storms there. Haywarden, marginally severe comes back there. So as far north as just to the northeast of Tracy, nothing that indicates concern there. So plenty of rain that's going to be in these. Like I said, not everybody's going to get it. And as you can see around 10 p.m. with this latest scan, things kind of fall to pieces, if you will, by the time that comes along. Again, this is around 6. This is 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then we have 9 p.m. Go back to the severe thunderstorm warnings, see what's happening here. Just going to close out of the app real quick here. I'll reload it, make sure that my internet connection is not having issues here. As you can see back here over by Armour, Delmont area, the Greenwood Colony, you have another storm that's moving on in and developing right in that same area. And that's what we were concerned about is once you get done with one, you're not done for the night. it is continuing to develop in the same areas, and these are super low or slow speed, you know. We'll go over into this area. It's a little hard to see, but we got a little pocket cell here that's not even close to severe, but something you want to keep an eye on, because if that goes into this same environment, we're going to have to watch out for more development to happen. And now we do have these storms down in Nebraska. They're starting to pop off, and they're going to continue to intensify as they approach areas like Vermilion, Hardington, Sioux City area later on this evening. As you can see, the dew points, 59 degrees in Columbus, 56 in Wayne. These are in Nebraska. 50-degree dew point in Sioux City, 57 in Yankton. So we definitely have a rich environment, rich enough. And then we do have the dew points in central and western portions of Nebraska that are in the mid to upper 20s. Super drier air that is colliding with that warm, moist air almost always indicates an environment that we could have potential for severe weather. We're going to take a look at super resolution storm velocity and see what's going on with this. Switch our radars a little bit. It's looking pretty intense. Definitely some wind there. That is pretty intense rotation going on there, and I'm not going to lie, that's looking kind of crazy. Let's take a look here, and I'll be right back, folks. Folks that are in the Olivet, Scotland, and Menno area, if you are not already in your safe place and lowest level of your floor, even a basement at this point, I would highly recommend it. This has now got a damage threat of considerable on it. So at 6:17, golf ball size hail was reported 5 miles west-southwest of Olivet. Scotland, this is 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, but I'm seeing some broader area of rotation there. Let's put this scan here. Let me go ahead and pick this up here with the velocity ingredient here. So again, green towards the radar, red away from the radar. And when you have that mixing going on, or the rotation, possibility of rotation, that's when you get concerned about possibility of tornadoes and have that spin. That certainly is a concern right there. And that's why we see all of these spotters. Be one moment, folks. I'm going to take a look at the CC numbers here. 1 second. Okay. That's not too bad now. It seems like it has kind of died out, but it was looking pretty tight there for a minute. So there we go. It's more of a broad area of rotation now, but certainly plenty of wind in there and considerable damage threat. So unfortunately, Scotland's dead center in this risk. We got people on Highway 46. We've got a number of spotters and chasers out there. Austin Evans, Alex Riesel. A lot of these on Highway 46. That is a general concern that I have right now, is this is starting to take that turn. Go back out here. So folks, if you're just joining us, make sure that you continue to like, share the live. I'm trying to make sure that I can stay live this whole time, but I may end up needing to let go here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Got a few poppers going up right here. And then this one that's just been going super slow right now and over the same areas. But again, folks, this is the biggest concern right here. It's going to be impacting the areas that were just hit last Sunday as well. I've not had another scan here, so this one's down in Chambers, Nebraska, starting to show signs of intensification. Let's go ahead and take a look at the echo tops here and see if it's gone down any with this one here. Still at 46,000 feet, 48,000 feet. These ones over here are quickly puttering out, so I don't think we're going to end up with anything real huge in those ones. This is finally puttering out here as well. And then this one over here by New Ulm, still pretty big. There's a live look at the radar. And again, folks, this is Scotland, Menno area with severe thunderstorm warning continuing. And we do have pretty violent amount of hail with that. Again, golf ball size hail, ping pong ball size hail. Those are all in this. So anybody that's in that area, watch out. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. We do see this one here now developing a hail core up near Canastota. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I may see what I can capture here. I'm in the Sioux Falls region, so I may end up trying to intercept this one. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.